Hey everybody, this is Beast. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Scottyallenday. I cover topics about past, present, future, and unknown. Today, well, again, we're on Television Tuesday, but I'm going to change it up a little bit because today I'm actually going to jump into a movie series. Well, it's actually a cartoon series as well. So, this is a three-part series. It's very well known. It's Back to the Future. So, again, I'll explain exactly how this actually works. It's basically you would jump on a trampoline and jump into a TV, but this one, well, it's a full-blown movie, so we're gonna jump on a trampoline. I'm gonna jump right in the movie screen. So we're gonna start off in 1985, and I'm gonna end up. Well, I would like to have the part of Marty McFly. So basically, it's Doc Brown flying around in a DeLorean, traveling back into the past and traveling up into the future. One of the bad disadvantages that I have right now is I have weight on me. You need to be slim and trim so that you don't have to wait for to slow the time machine down. Now, the reason I really like this movie is because you run into the future, you run into the past, you brought back into the present after you fixed the past. So, pretty much, the way I like this is because of the fact that you went into the future and there was the futuristic cars. There was, there was some of the clothing that you probably never see in your life. 7-Eleven had their food coming up through the dispensers, and it was really an interesting sci-fi. And I really do like sci-fi style movie. You had basically a flying car that looked like a Lamborghini. And just to be able to have the opportunity to sit in a car, go 88 miles an hour, and zap you're into the future. Just to experience what that would feel like to go into time travel just like that. You're traveling at 88 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you're going into probably the speed of light, or the speed of sound, to go into another time dimension. Now, one of the bigger things about this movie is you're going back into the past, which is the first episode. Going back into the past to see, and you see your parents. Now you gotta get your parents back together. Well, I gotta have a little guitar, little guitar business there. I should be able to play guitar, I should be able to sing, I should be able to dance on stage. The only thing is because of my life, I personally, if I had my mind instead of the character Marty McFly, in my mind, it would be very, very difficult when I did make that travel into the past, not to just stay there. That's just like Doc Brown when he traveled back into the Old West. It was extremely hard for him to come back from the Old West. It was like in the future, it was somewhat difficult for Marty to come back from the future. So, the whole, I would say, a time triangle shows that if time travel was possible, and somebody traveled into a dimension or a time, that all of a sudden they just fall in love with it. Me personally, I would be, 1955, 1965, 1970, all of those eras, I would want to just stay there. Don't get me wrong, I like 2023, but just to go back where you don't have to worry about the technology. You can actually work on a car. You can drag race and have some fun. You had to drive in movies. Food was food. Was food. Was food. Was food. Food had taste. Food was good. Nothing was artificial about it. So that's what kind of makes me leery about going into the future. There's just going to be so much preservatives in food in the future. Is there really going to be taste? So, me personally going into the future, it'd be fun. But I wouldn't want to stay there. But now we start talking about going into the Old West a little bit, but we're going to talk about the 1955. Now, a lot of, or if I got the year wrong, sorry, but I'm still going to say 1955. Just going back into that era, most of the big surf bands, rock and roll was starting to become king, or was king. We had the 35s, which were 55, 56, or 57 Chevys. You had muscle cars that were starting to come out. You had the, it was just an era that was it. The motorcycles, there was a motorcycle. If it broke down, you go into the trunk and you come back out, and just in a matter of minutes you could have your car back running again and you're off to go. Just as simple as dropping an egg into a radiator. So that type of mentality from 1955 is great. It's extraordinary. Cities weren't extraordinarily large. Rush hour, you probably wouldn't even know what rush hour is in that era. If somebody was around in 1955, I would love to know, was there rush hour in 1955? Was there traffic jams in 1955? So just with that, and with the cars and with the car styles and the leather jackets and the hairstyles and the music and the dancing and all that in 1955, that was an amazing period of time. So going into the future would be fun because, you have a flying car and you have your holograms and whatever may come with the future. Of course, if there was a time jump like I had with 2 videos ago, I'll try and put a card on here that I did a time jump into the Jetsons, which I think was last week. So, just by jumping into the future, if I could jump into the Jetsons era of the future instead of the Back to the Future era, it'd be a different story. I'd probably want to stay there. Now, going into the Old West, that'd be another big one, because I cross over with my music all the time. I love my country. I love rock and roll. Now, going back into the Old West to see the gunfights and the stagecoaches and the old style carnivals and there's basically not really many restaurants, but the beer, the whiskey, those types of things would be extraordinary. And everything was all hands-on back then. You had to physically make what you needed in order to be able to move, survive, rob the train, rob the stagecoach. But me, if I was going back into the past, I would rather be a sheriff, because I'd want to chase out. I would love to chase the outlaws. I don't think I would want to be an outlaw hunted by a sheriff. I would be the sheriff running to chase down the outlaws. Because most of the sheriffs back then, I have a pretty good feeling that the evidence became their paycheck. So that kind of sums up what I would love to do if I wanted to do a Back to the Future time jump, or movie jump, or just plain just to experience it, and I think it would be amazing. So take a moment and drop a comment in the comment section. What would be the best part of the 3 different eras of Back to the Future would you like to visit? Even though you had to go and chase Biff to go and get the almanac, I would pretty much say you would have to get that almanac, because that's going to alter the future. You need to destroy it. Now, you have the 3 different eras that you need to time travel to. Which of the 3 eras would you like, and why? Down in the comment section. It'd be fun for me to be able to read it. Maybe I might do a video on it later on. So just give me a comment. I'd love to hear what your response is, and I'm actually curious. So subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video. And I guess you're gonna keep on rocking. Yeehaw!